When you sit down to write copy for a product page on a website, one of the most important things you need to get right is the page title, also called the title tag. The title tag is an HTML element that's found at the beginning of the HTML. It looks like this. It needs to be an accurate and short description of what a page is all about. Title tags appear in two places: in the title of the page, like this, and in search engine results as the clickable headline for a given search result. Your page title is important for usability, for search engine optimization, and for social sharing. Title tags are a major factor in helping search engines understand what your product page is about. And because they show up in search results, they are the first impression that potential buyers have of your product page. Here's how you write the title tag for your product page. First, don't think of writing a grammatically correct sentence because you don't have to. All you need to do is write a phrase that contains the right keywords. One format uses this order: primary keyword, secondary keyword, store name. For example, let's say your product page is selling fishing rods and you're selling the Berkeley lightning rod, spinning rod in particular. You start with the primary keyword, which in this case is the product name: Berkeley lightning rod, spinning rod. Then you add a space, a vertical bar, and another space. Then you type the secondary keyword, which is fishing rods. You add a space, a vertical bar, and another space. Then you type the store name, Bass Pro Shops. Your product page title looks like this: primary keyword, secondary keyword, store name. It shows up in search results like this. The store name in this example is a retailer. If the shopping cart was on the manufacturer's site, then the manufacturer's name would go at the end of the title. Here's another example. It's from a product page on the website for Aldo shoes. It starts with the name of the shoe, then the type of shoe, followed by the brand name Aldo. This page title is perfect because it describes the page perfectly and it's optimized for search engines, all in just 45 characters. The key thing to understand here is that you are putting both the product name and the category in the page title. You do this because this is how people search online for products. They typically start by searching for the category. Later, they search for a product by name or by brand. Let's stick with our example of people who are online looking to buy shoes. Before you write your page title, you need to understand what people type into Google when they are looking for your product. So you do your research, and you discover that people who are looking to buy your product typically start their search by typing men's running shoes into Google. Your first job is to create a category in your shopping cart using that keyword term, men's running shoes, a category page. Then you need to combine that category with your product name to create your page title. It will look something like this: product name, product category in one phrase. Notice the format of the title. It includes the brand name, the model, and the category. If the brand name is not important, put it at the end of the title or leave it off the title description altogether. While we're on the topic of brand names, most potential customers eventually search by brand name and model name or model number. For example, if they are searching for the Aftermath snowboard, which is made by Burton, they don't search for Aftermath snowboard and they don't search for Burton snowboards. They search for Burton Aftermath snowboard, brand, and then product name. Here's the next tip. Put your important keywords first. According to tests conducted by Moz, keywords at the beginning of your title improve search rankings. Research also shows that people scan just the first few words of a headline in a search result. This is why you must put the unique thing about the page first. Typically, that is the product name. It's not the brand name. It's not the product category, so avoid titles like brand name, product category, name of product. Titles like this have too much repetitive information at the front. All the results for this shopping cart will all start with the same brand name, for example. Plus, if you put the product name at the end of the title, some search engines may chop it off and not display it, especially on smartphones, which have narrower screens than desktops and laptops. By the way, don't spam Google by putting multiple variations of your keywords in your page title. Don't write something like best men's running shoes, buy running shoes for me, cheap men's runners. A title like this does not help your potential customers, and it's likely to get you in trouble with Google. They will put your product page on page 159 of the search results, where no one will find you. They'll penalize you for spamming them. The optimal length of your page title is 55 characters. Google typically displays the first 55 characters of a title tag. If you keep your titles under 55 characters, you can expect that at least 90% of your titles will display properly, the full title. Look at these two search results for the same product. As you can see, the first title appears in full, while the second title is chopped off. Google tells you the title is incomplete by putting ... in the middle of the title. Another tip, consider putting a call to action in your title. Instead of simply saying Apple MacBook Pro, say buy the Apple MacBook Pro. If your store offers the lowest prices, then put a call to action at the start of your title, such as pay less for Apple MacBook Pros. Naturally, putting a call to action at the start of your product page is going to push the title, the product name, and the other vital keywords further away from the start of the title, which is not advisable. But the call to action might boost your click-through rates. Test this tactic and find out if it works for you. Another tip, each product page on your website must have a unique title. Google penalizes websites and shopping carts that have multiple pages with the same title. Duplicate content is deadly to search engine optimization, so make sure all your titles are unique. Another thing to consider when naming your product pages is local SEO. If your product page is advertising a product that can only be purchased from your bricks and mortar store, or if your bricks and mortar store offers lower prices than online stores do, which is unlikely, then put your city in your product page title. If you sell Rolex watches, for example, and if your store is in Toronto, put those keywords in your page title. Someone searching online for a Rolex Submariner in Toronto will find your page immediately. Some people search online but buy locally. So if you need your website to generate foot traffic to your retail store, put your city name in your product page titles. Finally, think like your customer. Some online shoppers know exactly what they are searching for, right down to the model number or SKU. This is especially true for folks who buy parts online, such as parts for cars and appliances. If you know that your potential customers will search for your product by its part number or SKU, which is a stock keeping unit, put those in your product title like this. When your page pops up in search results, your potential customers will see that you offer exactly what they are searching for, and they will click on your link. That, of course, is true for all of your product page titles. Think like your potential customers. Discover what they search for when they search for what you are selling. Discover the keywords and phrases they use in their searches. Then put those keywords and phrases into your product page titles and see what happens.